Hey everyone, welcome to this Body Art News Explainer. Today we're diving headfirst into the real chemistry behind that viral toxic ink panic you've probably seen sweeping all over the internet. We're going to separate the sensationalized TikTok myths from actual documented toxicology, because let's be real, when it comes to something permanently etched into your skin, you absolutely deserve more than a 15-second piece of clickbait.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to hit the viral ink panic, look at what the science actually says, break down the chemistry of colors, tackle the real long-term threats, and finally, talk about how to future-proof body art studios. Let's get right to it.
So, starting things off with Section 1, the viral ink panic.
Look, you've probably seen quotes exactly like this one plastered all over social media. Tattoo ink causes cancer, autoimmune disease, and systemic inflammation. It's everywhere, right? And usually it's conveniently stitched over some scary-looking MRI screenshots just to farm views. But what they totally ignore are the crucial nuances of pigment chemistry, contamination levels, and production quality. Now, the academic camo these creators use does actually come from real reviews summarizing adverse reactions. But, and this is a massive but, those exact same papers emphasize that the risk profile really comes down to specific contaminants, not this scientifically lazy blanket statement that all tattoo ink is poison.
And honestly, the reason this panic spread like absolute wildfire, it's just a numbers game. Roughly 1 in 3 adults in the US now has at least one tattoo. Think about your own circle of friends for a second. Tattoos are literally everywhere. So when you have a massive population base like that, even incredibly low probability adverse events are going to hit thousands of people over time. That makes it dangerously easy for a viral video to point at one real complication, rip it completely out of context, and incorrectly claim that it happens to everyone who sits down in a studio chair.
Okay, moving on to part 2, what the science actually says.
Now, you might hear stats being thrown around online, like 70% of people having acute skin reactions or 7% dealing with systemic harmful effects. Scary, right? Well, here is the absolutely critical context that TikTok leaves out. Those numbers are from a 10-year retrospective series of a specific clinic population, meaning these were people who already had a serious problem. This wasn't just a random sample of folks walking down the street with tattoos. Content creators love to use these numbers as if 70% of all tattooed people have these massive reactions, and that is simply entirely false. These were patients whose issues were already severe enough to send them to a specialized dermatologist.
So instead of, immediate toxic shock or sudden cancer, the science actually points to chronic, localized inflammatory changes. Take granulomas, for example. Basically, it's a chronic inflammatory nodule where your body is trying to wall off a foreign substance it just can't break down. And the really vital thing to grasp here is that these reactions aren't caused by the simple concept of getting tattooed. They're tightly linked to specific ink pigments and chemical contaminants. It's actually just your body's local immune system doing exactly what it's supposed to do, just locked in a localized battle with a problematic chemical.
Which leads us right into part 3, the actual chemistry of colors.
Because, as it turns out, not all inks are created equal, like at all. When you look at the breakdown, a super clear contrast emerges. Black inks, for instance, typically rely on carbon black or iron oxides. And structurally, those can occasionally lead to granulomas, or very rarely heating up during an MRI. But colored inks, those have historically relied on things like azo dyes and heavy metal salts, which are linked to entirely different issues, specifically allergic reactions and photoreactions, where they actually react badly to sunlight. The scientific literature totally backs this up. Your immune system treats a carbon-based black tribal piece very, very differently than a bright, multicolored floral sleeve.
And if we're zeroing in on one specific wildcard here, it's absolutely saturated reds. The literature repeatedly flags them, especially those older formulations that used heavy hitters like mercury or cadmium. That's exactly why prioritizing modern, compliant red ink is completely non-negotiable today. If a client is going to have one of those weird, delayed hypersensitivity reactions where the tattoo randomly gets raised and itchy months or years down the line, it is overwhelmingly likely to happen in a red pigmented area. Treating all reds as if they're the same is a massive mistake.
All right, let's get into part 4, the real long-term threats.
There is just a massive, massive disconnect between what the headlines are screaming and what the actual biological threat is. The viral stuff wants you to fear sudden cancer and full-blown autoimmune disease, but the documented reality? It's much slower. It's chronic, low-grade inflammation. The true slow killer here is inflammation driven by pigment particle size, reactive metals, and just the total pigment load sitting in the skin.
Kind of like how a heavy-handed artist using the wrong needle taper causes excessive tissue damage that slows healing, poor ink chemistry basically amplifies the body's immune response over decades.
So what's actually driving that slow burn? Well, it's specific culprits like heavy metals, PAHs, which are polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons found in carbon black, and azo dyes. Some azo dyes can even break down into carcinogenic aromatic amines if they're blasted by intense UV light or laser removal. But here's what the outrage videos conveniently skip. Most compliant professional inks are already engineered to sit way below the strict parts per million thresholds for these exact contaminants. They adhere to really strict frameworks like the EU's REACH regulations. As we've continually reported at Body Art News, the true danger isn't tattooing itself, it's non-compliant or straight-up counterfeit supplies slipping into the market.
But honestly, we also can't ignore the elephant in the room: basic hygiene. It's way less sensationalized, but it's a very real risk. The massive explosion of cheap, semi-pro setups globally leads to really straightforward cross-contamination infections. We're talking hepatitis B, Hep C, HIV. And it's incredibly frustrating because these basic hygiene failures unfairly get lumped into the narrative that the ink is inherently dangerous. It averages together medically clean professional studios with unsterilized kitchen table setups, which completely skews the public's perception of safety for the whole industry.
Finally, let's wrap up with Part 5, Future-Proofing Body Art Studios.
So how does the industry actually evolve past this panic? Well, it's all about adopting a medical device mindset, kind of like how the piercing world transitioned from mystery metals to documented implant-grade jewelry. Step 1 is demand documentation. Get those safety data sheets and batch numbers. If your supplier can't give them to you, drop them and find a new one. Step 2 is transparency. Get color-specific consent for those risky red areas, so clients actually understand the unique chemistry they're getting. And Step 3 is foresight. Manage that total pigment load and plan conservative pigment builds, especially for any client with a documented autoimmune history.
And part of that foresight is proactive communication. You need to talk to your clients about future medical procedures. Since certain pigments, especially iron oxides and some black inks, or metallic content in colored ones, can react to magnetic fields, they might cause a temporary burning sensation during an MRI. Being ready to talk about that before the client even has to ask, that proves you actually understand the deep science of your tools, not just the artistic side of things.
There's this quote that honestly just hits the nail on the head for where the industry needs to go right now. Don't promise safe, promise traceable, documented, and within current toxicology limits. And back it up with paperwork. The studios that actually embrace this, the ones who can point to a specific bottle, a batch number, and parts per million limits, they're going to breeze through this wave of social media scrutiny. But the studios buying cheap mystery ink online to save a buck, they're basically just volunteering to be the next viral horror story.
So I'm going to leave you with something to really chew on. Do you know exactly what's in your ink? Because in an era driven by viral health panic, ignorance and anonymity are your biggest enemies. We can't deny the chemistry happening in our skin. We have to completely own it. Demand the documentation, trace your tools, and let's elevate the standard. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer. Keep asking the hard questions, keep demanding better, and I'll catch you on the next one.